Hey, Alex, can you hear me
Hi,
all right?
how are you? Yeah, good. Yeah, I was just sending you some notes in the private chat, seeing if Tron will come today or not. It's always a little hard with him, he's got his kids and everything. So, but
No doubt.
eventually he'll get here. Let's hope. Or if not, then next week. But
Yeah,
you always got me, so.
we can always push back whatever we had planned. So yeah, if you need an introduction, I'm the community manager for Battledome, which is an Alien Worlds NFT fighting game. Co-host here, Alex, is the boss over at Restack.AI. And yeah, we've always got plenty to talk about. So let's have a look at what's on the agenda today. So let's start, kick it off. Financial disclaimer. Obviously, we might be talking about crypto, financial products, stuff like that, but we are not financial advisors. Do your own research. And yeah, we're not offering any financial advice, even if we may talk about some coins are better than others or whatever. All right. Now, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to send an invite out to one of our devs. One second.
Are we doing different days to play for different planets? I wasn't sure if we decided.
What is? Yeah. What is that? What is that bot? That is that like? I know we get these voice bots every once in a while.
Yeah, no, that's the people that are watching are typing, and someone just said, "What's with the fight for a planet? Are we doing a different day per planet?" And no, I think you should stay loyal to whichever planet that you believe in, and you should grow a community within your planet, and you should fight for that planet, and you should try and take out, especially Naron has been taking over the leaderboard for ever since we started. So if we can get a pack together, something like Velez, and really go hardcore, we can try and knock them off the top spot. And I'd really appreciate that, being a Velez boy myself. But who knows? Alex might say different. He might be up for Enki. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, go on.
But yeah. I mean, I've told you, I guess last week, I'm not really a gamer. I'm more in this out of curiosity and making sure everything works. I'm a company manager at heart, right? And I'm a salesperson. So I'm into this as far as from a perspective that we're delivering the right things and doing the right thing and making the people happy, analyzing who's the end receiver of this service and how to grow this service so that it can be sustainable, because it's a highly competitive space. So, but right now, I'm on Ike. I'm no longer a syndicate member. I refuse to vote for myself, so I only want to win by popular support.
Let's just talk a little bit about this Galactic Hubs grant from season 2. We are still waiting for our update, but I'm sure you know something about the process and what's going on, Alex.
Yes. Well, I mean, as far as what Tron told me is he and Bulga have worked ahead. And we have a meeting on Monday. I think that's tomorrow. It's been an interesting weekend for me. So I'm just still trying to figure out what day of the week it is. But we get Easter twice in Ukraine. So I do the European Easter last week, and then we have the Orthodox Easter this week. So everything in Ukraine is done twice. We get 2 Christmases, 2 New Years, because they're on an Orthodox calendar. And then I'm living by the European American calendar, so yeah. But anyway, so yeah, the game, the Pioneer Grant updates are ahead of schedule. We have it on our Medium, what we're exactly doing, but it's basically we're pushing out the administration functionalities to the syndicates, to the community, so that they can run the tournaments themselves and they can crowdfund the enhancements they want to see fixed or see that they want to see funded or in the game. So, we're given a lot of suggestions. We scope them out, we price them, and then we put them in the crowdfunding. And either planets, individuals, maybe I don't know how it's set up completely right now, but I think right now it's either planets or anyone who holds Trillium can vote. So as long as you
Yeah.
have a wallet address, whether you're an individual or representing a greater body, you can vote on these requests. And the ones that get funded, then you pay. But if they don't get funded, the money is refunded to you.
Yeah, but with regards to this Galactic Hubs grant program season 2, this is all about the syndicate panel, which is basically we're trying to decentralize Battledome and let the planets fight it out, and whoever's the top of the leaderboard, they will be in charge for the next season. And it'll be like a rotating presidency, so each planet will get their own turn, and you'll be able to run it. And the person who's actually in charge of it, so each planet will designate a president, so to say, and we will give that person access to the panel, which basically means he can put what prizes are available for winning, but also he will get 10% of any of the repair fees. So it's quite good, really, that we're giving someone a job and we're paying them for it within the alien world space.
Oh, the article even goes on to state that we give the Federation 10% of the repair revenue, and we put 30% back into a prize pool so we can enhance the prizes or the TLM or the giveaways, whatever.
And this is
so it's like
all
50%. 50% is returned back to the community.
And this is all starting soon. This could be starting as soon as next week. Is that right?
Well, we have to clear the gate with the Pioneer grant. I mean, we're ahead of schedule, but they have their own schedule. So it's always good to work ahead, but they have their own schedule there's going to be a tournament to kick this off.
Right.
And,
no, I did hear that the tournament was like end of June or around June, July. So that is a little while off.
Yeah, that'll give us plenty of time to test. You can always test, right? We'll test and we'll work out the so it's nice to get ahead because then you got more time for testing. And testing is development.
Yeah, and just a quick update. Obviously, we introduced the beginner league 2 weeks ago now, and we've had such a lot of interest from the community. We're seeing a lot of players joining in on the beginner league because, like I say, a lot of these ideas we actually sat down and discussed for months before going into development. And Beginners League was a big idea that we came up with the idea to let anyone in the community be able to play Battledome for as little as $1. So just for $1, you can get a team and you can start battling in that Battledome. So to be fair, anyone around the world, anyone can play Battledome. There's no massive restrictions on that. Whereas if you wanted to get into our advanced league, we would recommend that you bought some decent NFTs. You really need, if you want to get stuck in with the advanced players, you need to be ready for real warfare. Because these guys,
all Web3 games are like this, like Splinterlands. You have a free level, and it gets you a feel for the gameplay. But then you pay the $10 to get the pack. And then you can play and earn some real prizes. So we're following the industry standard with the most popular Web3 games. That we have kind of a trial layer. It doesn't cost you much. You get to experience all the mechanics, and then if you like it, you go out on the Atomic Hub and you pick up some better NFTs, and you look at the strategy. You play a few times, get a feel for the algorithm, and see where if you can be like Luffy. Luffy is this guy who won the first Battledome tournament. He cleaned house. It was a very fierce competition. So
I remember trying to keep up with Luffy, bro. There was talk that he was just like he was some kind of guy that didn't sleep, but he was literally no one could keep up with that guy. He was amazing, and it was well deserved. I've just had a question from the community regarding who was winning. So I'm going to share my screen 1 second, and I'm going to go onto the Battledome game because this is live. Now you should be able to see my screen there, and these are the wins in April. So we've got Naron. This is the beginner league, by the way. This is the one that anyone can play. So it's actually, this is probably the best representation of the game. So Naron there is well out in front. It's quite small on my screen. Let me just change over. So 370 wins. We've got Neri second with 195. So that's over half. And then we've got Magor in third. Everyone's getting wins though. Even Ike at the back there's had 70 wins so far in April. So yeah, really happy with that.
There probably has to be a fix to the algorithm, but we're getting through Pioneer Grant first. It's like economics, right? Unlimited against limited resources. So it's like any software development. Everything takes time. And we really want to get Pioneer Grant done and get Syndicate tool set out there before resuming the enhancement request. But we have to get those funded. And it's money well spent from the community. I mean, doing giveaways and mining. I mean, it's better to develop a game and keep developing the game, in my opinion. And that'll bring new users, new excitement, new features, versus just throwing the money into the mines. And then, that's a user acquisition, but we don't know how much the bots are eating up versus like real people. But here we know that this is real people eating it up. If you read our article on Medium, Tron went through implemented a 3-step process to make sure that, we're not getting bot accounts, because he figured out what the bots do. The first to log in is legit, and then it gives the login key to the next bots. Like 10 bots log in simultaneously, and they're all using the same verification key, and they try to do it in sequence. And this happens because a lot of it's done on the front end, but adding the back end call adds an extra 3 seconds, but it just boosts up the security. So it's a little bit slower, but it's much more secure. And so we can keep building this. This is a classic battle royale game. I mean, they made a movie about this called Hunger Games, the battle royale.
Of course, there's been many movies made around. The actual original was back in 2001, I think, was actually titled Battle Royale, and that's where the whole name came from. An old Asian movie that I used to watch. But we've got so many of these updates that we want to start. We just need the development team are ready to start these. We've got the daily login rewards, which is going to be great. Players love that. If you log in 5 days in a row, you get prize. You get something for it. So just logging in, have a quick game. All the games do it. There's loads of updates there. We've talked about them week after week. Like I said, they've all been discussed for months. Oh, there's one of our devs now.
You found relation between custodians and bots.
I don't know if you can answer that, Alex.
Which one here?
The bottom one there. Bulga's just asked a question. I wasn't sure what it meant. Anyway, cheers.
We better. That's a bit controversial.
Okay, so
no comment. So let's bring Bulga in, but you got to promise to behave and maybe give us an overview of what you're working on for the Syndicate's tool set. Let's bring him in.
I got a message back from Bulga that he was actually with family and he'd been drinking. So.
Oh, okay. But so this is another great thing about Battledome. We've been able to employ a member of the community, and Tron has been able to teach him a lot about the game and everything. So it's not in one person's hands anymore. We really want to build a company around this so that the game is sustainable and has longevity. And at the end of the day, it has good strategies in there. It's like chess. Chess doesn't have an exciting UI, but it's the algorithm or poker. That UI has been the same, I think, since the beginning of time.
I would say poker is definitely the one I would compare it with.
Shrimp bucket.
So.
Was there some sort of issue with the reward payouts of last season? I received an NFT, but only bronze rewards in Scuzz. I might be mistaken, though. Still a noob over here.
Well, welcome, Shrimp, and I'm very happy to see that you're playing Battledome.
I would suggest going in the chat and make a ticket, and then Tron and Bulga will look into it. Because I
From
don't
what
have
I
a specific, yeah.
yeah,
I
from
do a
what I
lot of,
seen, I came 11th, I think, and I got my prize, and everything seemed to go in well. It all happened sometime yesterday. So yeah, if you've got any issues, feel free to private message us, and we'll make sure that we put you straight. We'll,
or make a ticket on the Restack chat. That's actually the most systematic way to reach us, because we answer all those tickets. So yeah, if there's any payment issues, you can get in touch with us through the ticketing system, and we'll be glad to respond.
Yeah, and just the fact that you've written that in the chat, there is a log of that goes directly to our Discord.
Are there NFTs?
Okay, good. So we'll get that addressed. I know Tron has just been super busy, like I say, trying to get the grant.
Lisa's just had quite a good idea here, where I'm guessing Lisa's suggesting that the Alien Worlds team could try and fund some NFTs so that new players can join us and play Battledome. I'm all up for you guys promoting Battledome. If you can get some NFTs that, like, some minions and some weapons into the hands of some of the players and say, look, here you go, get started.
I mean, we're talking about pennies here. The common and abundant NFTs are literally pennies.
Yeah, they are literally pennies.
Yeah, literally pennies, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not an outlay. If you, like I said, for less than $1, you can have quite a good team.
Yeah.
To play in a league.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I guess we can't get either of the devs in tonight. And I'm trying to contact Tron, but like I said, he's got a busy life outside of gaming. I mean, he's got a, you know, he's got a real life going on. So, and we try to put as much of his time as possible into actual coding. I'm trying to get him celebritized. You know, we have contacted Super Team in Turkey. It's a Solana Foundation project or entity. And we won their hackathon in Istanbul. He went up against 5 guys from Hacken, and he produced a single sign-on web wallet in 12 hours. And these other 5 guys that he went against, and they all flew in from Germany, right? And it was like there was just Tron on stage with the first prize, and then the second prize you see like
the video.
Yeah, like 5 guys, you know.
It's very impressive.
He really likes the code, and but I need to get him to become a celebrity coder, you know, and then that way we can get our users and our followers up, because we're very focused on the engineering and everything, but that's not how it works these days. We have to get ourselves out there. We have to get people to know who we are. But he's actually a real developer. He really likes to develop. He's very into the security. He's very into the bulletproofing, you know, that if things don't go down, and it shows in his work. You know, I mean, he does this stuff on the side that when they were talking about Thunderdome, we were waiting, and he pulled this off in like 3 months, the MVP. That's something that works and transacts. So, but we have to encourage him. Yeah, so we're really going to work hard with Super Team, because they remember us and they know us, and he's going to work on a bounty, I think, with Bulga, so we can get in there with the Solana people, and you
can see this for a question. Is there a chance in the future to blend weapons from AWC with NFT reward or /gems?
Okay, we've got a few. We've got a few questions. We've got loads of questions coming in, so I'm going to have to actually turn the bot off. Which I can do.
Let's take a look at the questions.
Okay. Well, we can keep it on and just read the questions and just make it more interactive, I guess. Okay. Chat. Okay, so Ender was mentioning something about being on a mobile phone, and is there a chance in the future to blend your weapons, to blend weapons from Alien World with an NFT reward? I don't quite understand the question. Could you understand it, Alex?
Okay.
I don't quite understand what that means.
Well, he's
Is
talking
there-
about the future. He's talking about the future of the game. Like, are we going to add more NFTs? Like, are we going to take advantage of the artifacts? Are we going to take, you know, will your rewards, if you win an NFT reward, will that enhance your gameplay? These are all things that are on the table and being considered. And this is when the syndicate's tool set and the crowdfunding platform come out. These are things that the community can vote and discuss and send up to us. I mean, we'll estimate the task, refine the task, and then if it gets the funding, yeah, we'll be glad to do it if this is what the community wants.
yeah,
So
maybe
technically, it's possible. Everything is possible technically. You know,
anything's
it's just a
possible.
matter of like, is it a good choice or not, right? I mean,
Exactly.
is it gonna enhance the gameplay or is it gonna create complexity? But technically, it's possible and it's something that the community has to decide. I mean, I was kind of for it too. I want to make use of as many of the NFTs as possible. But you know, there's also other games we're thinking about as like a spin-off of Battledome. You know, I'll keep that under wraps, you know, because maybe that'll be for Pioneer Grant
Yeah,
Season 3. But
yeah.
you know,
But
yes, we are looking
we've
at all
spoken
these.
about
We are looking even at the Binance or Smart Chain NFTs, the ones that are on that you win from
the
missions.
missions,
Like,
the missions
yeah,
NFTs.
how
Yeah,
we can use those in a game because they're just
yeah,
sitting. They don't
because they
do
are,
anything.
yeah, they're not doing anything, and we need to
Yeah,
incorporate them
yeah,
definitely. And these new ones that are coming out, the artifacts, you know, there's so much scope and there's so much things that we can do with Battledome, but we just need the support of the community. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to do the most for the least amount of money because we don't want to waste any of the community's money. So we're trying to do the best with it. So that's why we're
yeah.
putting all these big questions, these ideas, and we're thinking about them for weeks. And then we come up with a few good ideas, and then we just want those ones funded. The ones that we know that are going to work, they're going to benefit the players. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Lisa's asked, which cards are ideal to start with? So, which do you need for the starters pack? So there is no starters pack as such. You can use, on the beginner league, you just need to use any abundant or common minion and weapon. So you just need a minion and a weapon. Everyone starts with an avatar.
Yeah.
So your avatar, your minion, and your weapon. I can even run through it now. Look, 1 second. What I'll do is I'll share my screen. I'll go on to the game, and I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Lisa Chandler.
Here we are.
Perfect, thanks.
Yeah, so here we are. We're on the Battledome screen right now. I say I register for a fight. So here we go. Look, we've got Advanced League is the purple shields. Beginner League is the white shields. If we click register, then you get to a registry screen. As you can see, there's 4 people waiting to fight already. So I click register, and this explains that you can only use your common or your abundant NFTs within the beginner league. So you can just click next. And there's my avatar. Click the avatar. Now I've got to select my minion. So ideally, if you can see down there, there's a little box which says nature cards only. Because when you play Battledome, every hour, the phase changes, which is over on the right-hand side here. It says Battledome phase. I don't know if you can see my pointer. But there it says nature, and underneath there's a timer, 28 minutes. Now in 28 minutes, that will change from nature to a different phase. And all of those phases are on the cards. So for example, I'll go back into register. We'll click on a nature card. So these 3 here are nature. Grey Scientist. Now these are my nature weapons. Rock Blade. Now I choose what type of fight do I want to do. Do I want to try and be evasive, defensive? Do I want to do a critical attack, attack the strongest player on the field, or attack the weakest, which is a bit of a bully option. So
that's how nature works, right? The lions always go after the weakest
I'm not
not
going to
the
attack the
strongest
weakest.
ones.
I don't like that option.
Okay. But I mean, if you watch those nature specials,
I'm
you don't
going
see.
to attack the strongest, okay? Because that's the kind of guy I am. And we're going to fight for Velez. So register, and here we go.
But have you ever seen a lion go after a healthy bull wildebeest? No. They
No,
go
I
after the
know, I
baby
know.
that was just
It's
born, or
survival
they
of
go
the
after the
fittest.
old one that's limping.
Okay, so look, so here we are now, ready for battle. Go to the lobby. Now this is we'll show you a game in action here. So it's now there's 5 people that are registered. In fact, there's 6. You can see down the bottom there, 6 out of 20. So in total, you can have 20 people in the arena fighting it out, and only 1 person survives. So this is just loading this up now. It's going to take about 30 seconds. So if I just refresh, you'll see a countdown. So actually, it says ready in 60 seconds. I refresh again, that should start counting down soon. Sometimes it can take a minute for the fight to start.
Oh, I think Tron is in here. Tron is in here, so.
There you go. See,
Yeah,
it says ready in 45 seconds. All right, I'll bring Tron in, but I would like to see this fight. Let's see if Tron is here. 1 second.
Yeah, he just joined in, so.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
We've got the pro dev in the house.
Yeah, let's bring him in, and then we can watch this game later. You know, there's always a replay.
Yeah. Okay, let's put that game on the back burner for the second.
I think they get the idea that, you know, like in the beginner league, you use the most basic of weapons and minions, and you know.
The fight is actually just starting, so whether Tron is here, I'm sure we'll hear him. As you can see, the countdown now. Hi, Tron.
How's it going?
Hey, there he is. How you doing? I'm good.
Good, thank you. It's Sunday evening here. It's been a great day. So, yeah, coming to have a chat with you guys. How's it going so far?
Good.
It's going quite well. We're actually demoing a fight in the beginner league. We've got Bulgar in there versus Fovi Bro.
Let's see it. Jump in the game, man. Let's see. I got my money on Bulgar.
Hey, I'm in there. You always put your money in captain, okay?
Oh, you didn't say that. If you're in there, okay. But remember, this is beginner league. It's pretty even. You can't use your legendary weapons in this league.
But look, the captain's doing okay so far, but Bulgar is still in. We're going into round 2. Oh, I've just taken a hit off of Bulgar. I'm dead. Fovi Bro took me out. So there's only 2 left. Fovi versus Bulgar. Going into round 3. Oh, you put your money in the right place. Bulgar wins.
See?
Well done.
See?
Well done.
See? Yeah. See, actually, Bulgar and I have been up coding quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. I know him well, and I know his quality in the Battledome. But we've been working on some pretty interesting stuff. We've been working on the syndicates administration panel for Battledome, which is part of the Season 2 grant that we've been awarded by Dakoko. And in this expansion from Battledome, we're adding some functionality to integrate with the syndicates. So what happens now is that the syndicates in Battledome will have direct control over the tournament system. And that's what Bulgar and I have been working on. So the way it works is, for example, let's say that the next season upcoming, we need someone to set up the tournament. And so the idea that we had was to decentralize this tournament administration out to the planets, out to the syndicates. And so there will be an ordering of the planets, which will be determined in a fashion that I'll come back to and talk about. But let's imagine that the next season is sponsored by Valles, which is the home planet of me and Alex until Alex moved to the penthouse on Aiki. But anyway, I'm still from planet Valles. And what will happen is that through the alien world system, there are 5 custodians that are elected at any point in time to manage the affairs of that syndicate. And so planet Valles will have some 5 custodians. And what's really interesting is that it's actually technically really easy and quick to get this information from the blockchain. Who are the 5 custodians for Valles? And our original thought when we did this system is that the Battledome representative for this season, given that this season is sponsored by Planet Valles, we will need to get this information somehow from the blockchain. How do we do this? And our initial thought was that this might take some queries. We might have to save it in a database. We might have to update it once a week or once a day or something like that. But it turns out that by nature of the blockchain, it's actually technically lightning quick to get this information directly off the blockchain. And there's a table on the blockchain called custodians, and we can ping that table, and it's actually quicker than getting information from a database. And so we can look in real time who are the 5 custodians for Planet Metaverse. And what Bulga and I are building now is a system where any one of these 5 custodians can be elected as a Battledome representative in order to run the tournament for Planet Metaverse. And when that tournament starts, that person will be the Battledome president. And they will have responsibility for setting up the tournament, giving the tournament a name, uploading an image for the tournament, and uploading and setting the prizes for the tournament as well. And also generally helping to hype the tournament, get a bit of buzz going, and get it going. In return, also that person, the Battledome president, gets a 10% return of the incomes that we get from the repairs in Battledome over that month. So, and then after the tournament for Planet Metaverse is finished, we'll go on to the next planet, which might be, for example, Carvian. And what we've done is we've made a system where this tournament administration will now be completely automated. And I want to tell you that I was up at 2 a.m. last night, and so was one of the other guys, in order to roll over the tournament. And this is what we have to do every 15 days, because at the moment it's a manual process. So what we've set is the tournament runs till 23:59:59 UTC. So we chose that because it runs technically very easy with our data in the database. We had to set a line in the sand somewhere where the tournament previous season stops and the next tournament season starts, it rolls over. So we set 00 UTC on the 16th of the month. So it goes right up to midnight on the 15th and rolls over on the 16th. And at the time zone I'm in at the moment, this is 2 a.m. in the morning. If I was in America, it would be some point in the early evening, I think, or the early afternoon. So anyway, this is a manual process at the moment. So when season 8 rolls over, someone has to go into the Battledome code and find all the places where it says season 8, and we have to replace the 8 with a 9. And everywhere it says that the season runs from the 1st to the 15th of April, we have to find it in the code, and we have to edit it manually in the code, the 16th to the 30th of April. And then we have to go into the leaderboard and take a snapshot of the leaderboard at that point in time. Usually the leaderboard is quite set in stone who are the top 10 positions. But if you look down the leaderboard, there might be some positions that are still not quite certain. There might be a race going on between, for example, the 15th and the 16th place. And of course, everyone who gets a gold finish in Battledome now gets actually a commemorative gold NFT in their wallet. So look in your wallet, people. If you place in the Battledome, you'll see that NFT in there. It just is commemorative. It doesn't have any fighting advantage, but it's your flair and your award for placing high in that season. And there's also a silver award and a bronze award. So we take a snapshot of the leaderboard at exactly 00 UTC, and we disable the games from running while we're doing this. So we can actually turn off the queuing for Battledome. And again, this is a manual switch. Then what we do is, once we've taken this snapshot of the leaderboard, we run a job which on the server distributes all the rewards to people. So it goes right from the top down, right from the first place, second down to 15, and then from 16 to 30 and 30 to 45. And it gives rewards to these people. And as you know, the rewards can vary from month to month, but these rewards will be a combination of the award NFT, which I just described, which is a commemorative NFT. It could actually be a prize NFT. So it could actually be a weapon or a minion that you can use in Battledome. And I believe this month, this season, we actually had our first mythical NFT as the first prize. And it can also distribute skulls, which is the in-game currency that you can use in the shop, in the market, in Battledome. And it can also be Trillium as well. And so this job will distribute all of these things. Thankfully, this part is automated because there can be 45 players, and each player may receive 3 different types of awards. So there can be 135 things which have to be sent out. But the main thing that people are looking for in the rewards, of course, is the NFT reward. And if you look on the leaderboard page in Battledome and look from the top down on the very right side, you can see the pictures for the NFTs that are going to be rewarded. You can see that first place has a legendary NFT, and then the third or the fourth place has an epic, and then there's a lot of rare NFTs, the blue colored ones, and so on. These at the moment are distributed manually. And yesterday, I think we had 25 of those to send out for the Advanced League and another 15, I believe, for the Beginner League. So this is a manual process of going into a wallet that holds these NFTs for the purpose of the tournament and distributing them manually to the players. So let's say that Alex was the first player this month. You know, okay, there's wallet address 1 fdba.wam, because I know Alex's wallet address very well. Every time he beats me in a match, those numbers flash across the top of the screen at me, 1 fdba.wam. Send him the NFT, and then the second and third. But this is a manual process, and this is how we've done it right up to now. The rewards were introduced, I believe, 3 months ago, and so this is how we've been doing it up to now. But it is a bit of manual work every time we roll over the season. What's going to happen now?
Can we get a preview of the upcoming things? You guys have been working pretty hard on this, and maybe it would be nice if
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So let me see if I can screen share. All right, so
okay, I'm going to put your screen on there. Yep.
All right, did it come up?
Do that in a second. Once you're ready, just let me know and I'll put it on, Tron.
Okay. Okay, ready.
Yep, it's live.
We're up and running. Great. Okay. All right. So there's 3 parts to the syndicate system for Battledome, and we've called it the Battledome DAO system. So what I've been describing right now is the manual process of rolling over a tournament and distributing the prizes. What's going to happen when we go live with this update to Battledome is that the tournament admin will be automated. And I'm going to show you how we do it. There's a system here called the Battledome Tournament Admin, and every season has a particular planet that can sponsor that tournament. So season 9, just for the sake of testing the system, will be sponsored by Planet Cavian. And the Battledome president from Cavian will be able to come in here and configure the tournament. So they'll be able to specify how many people get gold prizes, how many people get silver prizes, how many people get bronze prizes, and what will those prizes be? How many trillium, how many skulls, and so on. The most important part of this is the NFTs. So that they'll actually be able to upload the NFTs into a particular wallet, and these NFTs will be distributed automatically by the system. So there'll be no longer need for someone to manually send out a bunch of NFTs at 2 o'clock in the middle of the night. It'll all be automated by the system. And so season 8, which just rolled over, was already configured. And then we're going to configure season 9, season 10, season 11, and season 12. So the next 4 seasons will be Planet Cavian, Planet Magor, Planet Neria, and Planet Aiki. Now I'll show you how the custodians look in Battledome. There's a feature here called the Battledome President. So this shows the Battledome President for a particular month. So the Battledome President right now, sponsored by Planet Magor, is this wallet address, phlbq.wam. So maybe you guys will know, we could look up in Battledome who that actually is by their battle tag, but this is their wallet address. Now, there's a part of the system here called the custodians for Magor. So these are the 5 custodians which have the most votes, which have the most voting power configured in the Alien World Syndicate system. And we read that information directly from a table on the blockchain. And remember that many things on the blockchain are transparent, which means that anyone can read this information. And so we read the top 5 wallet addresses here ordered by their voting power. Now you can see here that in this system, you can actually cast a vote for one of these 5 custodians. So if you are actually a custodian for Magor, you can cast your vote on any of the 5 custodians here. Could be yourself, could be someone else. And the person who gets the 3 votes from the other custodians will then be the Battledome representative. And then when that season ticks over, they will be the Battledome president for that season. And that's what the little crown here indicates, is that this person here, when we've been testing this, has been voted in as the Battledome president. Right. So this is the voting for the Battledome president or the Battledome representative. You can see that each planet has their custodians. For example, I clicked on planet Valis here. And if no one has voted for the custodians here, then the first custodian will by default be the Battledome president. And we have all the planets here. Here's Neri, Naron, Magor, Kavian, and Aiki. And you can see that this information updates really quickly, and it's reading this information directly off the blockchain in real time. So this is really cool. This is really cool that we can integrate right into the DAO system for the alien worlds with a read-only permission to read this data, and then use this information in our system. Who are the custodians for a particular planet? Who are these 5 people? And then the person who then becomes the representative can then go into the tournament admin and set up their planet here. So that's what we've been working on, guys. And when this is live, the syndicates themselves will be able to set up the planets for Battledome, the tournaments, I'm sorry, for Battledome. And they'll be able to vote for the Battledome president every month. And then the prize distribution of the tournament will then be automatically handled by the system. There'll be no need for anyone to be up at 2 a.m. in the morning to do all this stuff. Perfect. So there you go. What do you think, guys?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's great.
Do we have any preview of the crowdfunding, or that's still in
Yeah, sure. We're at the MVP stage in the crowdfunding. So the crowdfunding is here. And the crowdfunding is basically a list of items. And these are change requests or ideas for Battledome. And they've been suggested by the community. And then they've gone through a little bit of a round table with our Battledome focus group, which includes the developers and some of the people from the community. And then these are then estimated in terms of what they cost. And then they're given a cost in trillion. And the idea is that these ideas here can be funded by the community. And when one of these ideas reaches 100%, that idea is then fully funded, and the developers will immediately begin working on that idea. So for example, I can show you there was one here that cost 30,000 trillion called Implement Move Cost. And I've got some info about it here. Implement move cost. Okay, so presently move cost is not implemented. This change involves updating the battle code so that the minions with the lowest move cost attack first in each round. Tiebreaks are resolved randomly. So this was actually completed, and it was coded by Bulga. So we can see actually the developer that worked on this as well. There was a bigger change here called player leagues, and I saw that you guys were showing the different battles in the beginner league and the advanced league, and this was actually a really successful change, because when we brought in this change last month, we immediately brought in 50% more people into the game that month, and we saw a lot of people having fun and playing a lot of games in the beginner league. And it's something that some of us senior players that have been battling with, some of the best NFTs for a while now, we tend to have forgotten what it's like to have that new player experience that is kind of fair and fun and engaging. And this brought back that really fun, new and fair play experience to the beginner league. And this was funded by the community, and this was our first real big change funded by the community. It took us 3.5 weeks to develop this. The leagues touched all areas of the system. It touched the back end, it touched the front end, it touched the data model. We needed new graphics. We needed to test this. This was actually worked on by Bulga and Tron. So I should add my name on this page also, but it's just set up with one name at the moment. And this was completed. Now, these other 3 items here are in the funding stage, and you can click on these here and read about them. And for example, this one's called login rewards. Rewards to players for logging in and playing every day for a week and a month, including new NFT rewards. So this is a change that's going to be really exciting if it gets funded, where players who play consistently will be rewarded with NFTs. And these NFTs will be airdropped directly into their wallet. And all you need to do is to log in and play a game of Battledome every day. Now remember, a day in Battledome is measured in UTC time. It's something that we're familiar with in Europe. For our dear listeners in continental America, you might not be familiar with UTC time. So if you Google UTC time, you can see a clock there. So you have to play a game between 0 and 24 on a UTC day. So if you play Battledome the same time every day, but just be aware when that time ticks over. If you play every day for a week, you get a small reward. And if you play every day for a month, you'll get an NFT reward. And so this is the idea, and this has been estimated. And for example, in this change, there is some work to do the coding, there's some work to do the artwork, there's some work to do the distribution of the rewards. So when and how these awards are given to players. So we need to keep track or look at the players' play history to give them a little sort of calendar that shows, for example, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You've played a game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now it's Friday. If you play a game here, that also gets ticked. And so you can see that I've got to play two more days. If I play Saturday and Sunday as well, I get my reward. And also for the month, I played 5 days in a row. Let's imagine that I played 25 days in a row. I need a little way of visualizing that or showing this to the player that they're making progress, that their consistency is working towards some sort of reward. So there's some front end work to show this visually to the player. And then we actually need to trigger that. When they log in on the 30th day, we need to actually give them that reward. And we'll do that through the airdrop system that we already have in the game. We tested the airdrop system with the crypto monkeys. We had a promotion, was that back in January, where where we had a bag of some hundreds of crypto monkeys that were given to us by this project for us to distribute for free to our players. And we did that. And we made an airdrop system where I think if you played 5, yes, that's correct. If you played 5 games in a day, you had a chance at the end of the day to receive one of 10 free airdrops. And they were given randomly to anyone that played 5 games in a day. So I think I got a random airdrop once or twice. Did you get any, Alex, from the crypto monkeys?
I think so, but I don't play that often.
Yeah, okay. But you need to play 5 games in a day. You don't need to win, you just need to play 5 games in a day.
Yeah, it's a participation award.
Yeah, it's for participation, yeah. So we already have an airdrop mechanism in place where we can look at a player's activity, and when it reaches a certain trigger in the code, we can actually airdrop an item that we define into their wallet. And what we did with Crypto Monkeys is we set up our own wallet called monkey.dome. And remember, everything on the blockchain is transparent. So you could pull up your block explorer and you could see this wallet address called monkey.dome. And you could see all the NFTs. We received a lot of NFTs at the start, but you can see the NFTs every day being distributed out of this wallet address to the players that won them.
Okay, should we move on to the next thing that we wanted to discuss? Last week, Tron, people were asking about the security and bot countermeasures in the game, and I also wanted to get your perspective on what it takes to code a smart contract. I think in my YouTube video, I was meaning to say that, I said smart contracts are hard to do or something, or you got to be smart to do smart contracts. But yeah, let's talk about the security measures in here for botting, and then let's talk about what it takes to make a good smart contract. Like it's heavy stuff.
Right. Okay. So botting, yes. So we wrote a blog post about this last November. The very first Battledome tournament that we had, which had a prize pool, I think it was 350,000 trillium in total. It was big. And obviously this attracted some, how do we say, some bad apples. And what we saw is that people immediately when we went live, this was the first version of Battledome actually, people started attacking the game with a network of bots. And these bots used fake wallet addresses to try and log in the game. And their objective once they logged into the game would be to play automatically in order to get up the leaderboard to win these prizes. Now the player base had actually been filtered. The player list was invitational and the player list had been filtered. But unfortunately there were some people that still tried to use these bots to hack the game. And the thing with the blockchain is that one thing that a blockchain does by its nature very well is authentication. So every time that little pop-up that comes up and says, hey, would you like to sign this transaction? What's actually happening there? You're actually signing a transaction with your private key. And when that transaction is sent to the destination, which is usually an RPC endpoint on the blockchain, that transaction will be verified. And all the signatures on that particular transaction will be verified. There can be one signature, there can be more than one signature. But let's imagine it's a very simple transaction with just one signature signed by me. When I send that transaction to the endpoint on the blockchain, it will verify that signature. And if that signature was not signed by me with my private key, that transaction will not be processed. So what we saw was that people were trying to use fake wallet addresses to hack into our game, but they couldn't, because when you go to join a game in the Battledome, it invokes a smart contract called Battledome Join. You can see that in the cloud wallet when you connect to a game. It says, do you authorize this connection? Do you authorize this transaction? I'm sorry. It says Battledome with a little arrow, join. So it's the name of the account and the name of the smart contract. So join is the name of a smart contract on the blockchain. And we can look at the smart contracts for any account. Remember, everything is transparent on the blockchain. Let's
bring this up on screen.
Favorite block explorer.
Okay.
So
let me put that on the screen. 1 second.
Yeah.
Let's put that full screen.
Yep. Are we up, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, we're up.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I've gone to my block explorer, wax.blocks.io, and I've just typed account/battle.dome. So battle.dome is the main account for the game. And I've gone to the contract tab here. We started here on the resources tab. Now I've gone to the contract tab. Now I can see the actions on the smart contract here. And there's 4 actions here that are actually smart contracts on the blockchain for this account Battledome. One is called auth, one is called buy item, one is called join, and one is called vote. I'll show you join. Join is the contract I use to join a game at Battledome. So if I put my wallet address here, I can submit the transaction to the blockchain. So it's just popping up a pop-up here. And what happens, I just need to authenticate this because I have 2FA. Just 2 seconds, guys. Okay, I've just authenticated with my 2-factor authentication. Okay, now I'm submitting the transaction. This is a pop-up here. So it's asking me, Battledome, arrow join. Now, can you guys see here it says success?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So what do you think would happen if I tried the same contract with Alex's wallet address?
A failure, yeah.
Boom. What did it say there?
It's missing the authority. Yeah.
Exactly. So what we've done to stop people hacking into our game is we've used the features of the blockchain itself, which is the world's best class of authentication with public and private key security. And we're using that feature of the blockchain itself in order to keep our game secure.
Excellent.
That's pretty
So
cool.
we
And
can be assured that all of our players are real. We don't have any inflated numbers due to bots.
Exactly, yeah. All our players are real. All our players use the cloud wallet. The cloud wallet has KYC. It should be one account per person. So that's how we've created an environment that's really good for our players. We haven't seen instances of people hacking the game. We haven't seen instances of botting. The other contracts I can show you here, there's one here called buy item. And this is obviously when you buy an item in the game, and obviously that'll only work if I'm using my own wallet address. There's two new smart contracts that Bolga and I wrote last week. One of them is called Vote. So this one's used for voting. So I can vote for Planet Valles, and here I can actually put in Alex's wallet address. I'm voting for Alex on Planet Valles. Now this vote will go into the back end of the game and will only be accepted if I'm actually a custodian of that planet, and Alex as well. And the other one is Auth. So we've added a new authentication to Battledome, which we'll be bringing live soon. So those are the smart contracts that we've developed. And I got to say, this stuff is pretty cool. It's all pretty cool. The way you develop a smart contract, it depends on the blockchain. In Wax, we use a language that's very much like C. So if you know C programming, you can write smart contracts on the blockchain. Other blockchains use different languages, for example, Rust. But the concept is always the same, that you have an account owner and you have actions and you have some sort of data in the parameters. And there can also be data in tables on the blockchain as well. So there you go, guys. That's a little bit about smart contracts. What did you think?
Well,
It's
how about the
slightly above
difficulty?
my pay grade.
Sorry, one at a time, guys.
I was wondering, Tron, if you can get into the difficulties of coding a smart contract. Why is it so hard? Why do people struggle with this, and why do we see them break so often and get hacked so often?
Yeah.
It seems like coding in Erlang or one of these functional languages. It's one of the more difficult things to do, and I just want to understand why in layman's terms.
It is difficult because these smart contracts use their own languages. They're outside of the languages that we usually deal with, like Java or C#. And also everything that's on the blockchain is transparent and available to everyone. This smart contract that I've put up called Vote, anyone in the world can call this. Anyone in the world can try and mess with us if they want to try, right? And by nature of smart contracts on the blockchain, you want to make sure that you get them right, because once you put them out on the blockchain, people will start to use them. People will look for vulnerabilities. And if you've put a smart contract on the blockchain with a vulnerability, people will find it, people will exploit it. So the level is much higher of normal software development, where your backend code is isolated to you. Your backend code is sitting behind a firewall behind a layer of authentication. On the blockchain, anyone can access your smart contract. Anyone can try to invoke it, and anyone can try to exploit it if there's a vulnerability. So you have to be double time sure, 10 times sure that you get it right, that it's well tested and it's secure.
So where do the other developers fall short? The people who where they have the is it the testing that they don't put the emphasis on the testing? Because I know at Restack, testing is like half of development. We're following the Agile manifesto.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it, Alex. You have to have a very heavy focus on the testing. But it also comes from general experience as a developer as well. If you've been developing for, maybe 10 to 20 years, I think you'd have a better understanding of building software that's secure, scalable, and reliable.
And do you see any of the legacy pragmas coming into play, like being conscious of how much memory you're using or CPU or things like this, like making that part of the code, where I think the newer languages you don't even have to think about these things?
Yeah, well, it's when you blend the old and the new, like these smart contract languages remind you of an era of computer program writing that is maybe 30 years old. If you're dealing with C language programming, you're going back to the 1990s. Many of us were not programming back then. Some of us are, some of us were. I was programming back then, so was John. But this is not a language.
I was actually, back then I saw the C book came out in my last year of college.
Yeah, there you go. But you're right, Alex. Most people have the language, the luxury of learning to program in an enterprise language these days. Languages like Java have memory management and garbage collection. You don't have to do manual memory management, which used to be the bugbear of languages like C. You used to have to allocate and free blocks of memory yourself. And if you mismanaged the memory pointer, then your program would crash with something called a core dump. The whole program would crash, boom, your web server down. These days, we have exceptions. It would catch the error and handle it in some way. So these days, it's kind of a luxury way. It's like driving a modern car with all the, cruise control and stuff like that. But you go back to a car from the 1980s, 1990s with the stick shift and all, it wasn't quite so easy, even just driving a car. So but I personally like it. I love the challenge of these languages that have come back into fashion these days because of the blockchain. I think it's really interesting and it's really cool. And, and if you want to do some sort of retro programming, then jump on the blockchain and start coding some smart contracts. It's very similar to the days of C programming in the 1990s. It's very similar.
It's like bell-bottom pants and tie-dye shirts of the programming. It's all coming back.
I've got to step out now. Will you excuse me? Thanks for the chat tonight.
Yeah, nice to see you in the chat,
all right,
Tron.
take care, guys. Bye.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, yep. Thanks a lot for all of that.
Yep, thank you.
Perfect. So, yeah, we managed to get Tron on the mic, and he really did give a bit of a professional overview. And like I said, it's way above my pay grade. This guy knows the ins and outs of all of the developing, and he's the guy that puts the ingredients together and makes things like Battledome, which is indestructible so far. We've not seen anyone manage to get a bot inside. So yeah, long live Battledome. Let's move through our agenda somewhat.
Okay. Yeah.
As we were talking a little bit about this other stuff, we talked a little bit about proposals and the fact that I'm now chilling out on the proposals. Bit about macro news. Let's have a look at Bitcoin.
Yeah, it looks like it's breaking. I mean, last week I think we were at 28 and kind of stuck, and now I think 35. I mean, like I said, this is not investment advice. This is just my opinion, and I'm the last person you should listen to, because if I was right about all this, I wouldn't be here. I'd be sitting on a yacht in Monaco, and
I agree. The same.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess just gut feeling tells me and I follow interest rates, and I think the interest rate cycles are getting close to a peak, and that's what Bitcoin, gold, everything is like breaking right now. Is starting to break through. So we saw gold pass $2,000 an ounce. And usually that's not long lived, but it's been holding. Usually gold gets pushed back to 1,800, 1,700 quite quickly. And I think Bitcoin, I don't know, this is just me. I think we're going to see 35 next stop. So we're 50% of the all-time high. What's the all-time high on Bitcoin? It's like around 60,000.
69.
Yeah, so we're getting close to half. Yeah, I think half of the all-time high in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I think that's
my analysis of Bitcoin says it's going to hit 36. Basically, that it should be able to get to 36 is what I've been looking at without too much problems.
Yeah.
But then we could project it at 36 because there's been a bit more price action at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of psychology now comes to play. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm probably one of the biggest. I like blockchain as a technology, but blockchain as money, I'm very skeptical. But I have to say, economics is the marriage of psychology and mathematics. It doesn't make much mathematics sense, but psychologically, to me, it makes a lot of sense. People now are going to go into this. There's greed and fear, right? Either you fear losing everything and you sell too fast, or you're greedy and you buy too quickly because you want to get on board, or they call it FOMO and FUD, right, in the crypto world.
Yeah.
But before that,
FOMO.
when I used to work for an investment banker, he studied in Cambridge, and he told me that they learn about greed and fear to a big degree, but now they call it FUD and FOMO. So I think we're getting into this FOMO stage. And the advantage of Bitcoin and Ethereum is that they're tied up with Wall Street funds. So when the Wall Street money comes in, it comes in pretty hard. Whereas, and I think there's maybe some other coins that, like Dogecoin has the advantage of Elon Musk and Mark Cuban. So
yeah, I put another coin. Put one or two coins on here because I know that you are quite into. Sorry, not TLM. We can have a look at that in a bit, but I know you're quite a big fan of the Polygon.
Yeah, because they have tied up with the corporates, right? They're tied up with Starbucks, Reddit. I believe they're with Adidas, Nike. So they've tied up with the major brands. I know my former employer EPAM has a cooperation with them. So
look, you can see from the bottom here, it's already it's gone way up over 300%.
Yeah.
So,
John said they're also tied up with Disney. That's huge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Matic looks like a great buy, and look at the graph there. To the high, to the low, that's 800%.
And remember, this is just our opinion. This is just our opinion. Yeah, I would say I'm staying pretty conservative with my tokens, like just in the top 10. Like the Dogecoin, Matic, Ethereum, a little bit of Bitcoin. Altcoins, I'm still, altcoins really depend on the people running it. And I was burned before. I mean, these guys get rich really fast and then they run off, or you start seeing a lot of cuckoo things, or they're not very transparent. So I'm gonna play it safe in this cycle.
I think looking at TLM, I don't think you can get much lower. I think it's a safe buy.
I can't comment on it because we are working, I say, on a project. So it's like I tend to I want to avoid conflicts of interest. But
of course. Now, there's the one coin I was talking about 3 weeks ago, which I said was my favorite coin of the month, and that's Ultra, and it's just shot up again today.
Nice.
I looked and I was 20% more up. It's currently 150% up, and it's going strong. And I'm finally less under the water than I was before. Put it that way.
What's the story behind the coin? Who are these people, and what are they building?
So they're building this. Have you heard of Steam?
Yes.
So I actually believe it was one of the guys that started Steam has actually moved into Web3, and he's built UOS Ultra Coin. So it is the Steam, but of Web3. And it actually releases this month, at the end of the month. It's like in 10 days. So in 10 days, this thing goes live. They've got over 200 games available that you can buy using this UOS coin. And you can't just buy them. So when you buy the game, you can actually sell it again on the market. But the main benefit, as with all of these Web3 NFT type things, is that the actual developers of these games get royalties every time it's sold on. Every time it gets passed on, the artist, like in the music industry or the game developer, they're getting little kickbacks. And this is the future, if you ask me. This is where a lot of these new indie developers are moving. So if you go over to UOS...
So it's a royalty. It's a royalty. It's like a trustless royalty mechanism.
Yeah, they've got that built into Steam now, and it's their new version. And they've got quite a few new game developers on there doing all these new indie-style games. But they're more interested in working on Ultra because they know their kickbacks are going to be better.
Okay, so it's like Uber versus Lyft or something. It's like a competitor. Yeah. So that's fine. I mean, because Steam validates the concept, and then these guys step in and offer some alternative. It's like Coke, Pepsi, RC. You don't. Yeah. It's not a bad thing that there's another guy in the space. It's a good thing.
This thing's coming to take over, though. This thing's coming to take over because Steam can't offer anything to do with... In fact, Steam already turned around like 6 months ago and said they're not going to get into the NFT business. So that pushed Ultra higher again. So yeah, I don't know. From what I've seen, it's looking great. It keeps going up. It's positive vibes. What else we got here? What's this?
Yeah. This is a project we picked up, Hugo the Parrot. This is a celebrity parrot in Croatia. Been on the news, has 44,000 real followers. I mean, this was started by a gentleman and his wife named Andrew, and it really picked up, and it's very genuine. And he approached us to help us get a following, and then I talked to him about Hugo, and he's very into the African gray parrots, and we hatched this idea that let's do a token launch and raise funds to start an African gray parrot foundation that is into the preservation of both the parrots itself. So you're going to rescue, it'll fund the rescue of birds from like negligent owners or owners that got in over their heads. People don't understand when they buy these kind of birds how much care they need, and it's like a child for life. They live a very long time. So there's a rescue aspect to this. Then there's also an education aspect to teach people how to care about the birds, and then there's a habitat, to get habitat preservation for the African gray parrots. And then I imagine that they would fund, NGOs or efforts to stop the smuggling. Although a lot of them are bred now in captivity, the smuggling is still going on. There's a lot going on with bird smuggling. So the idea is to have a token launch, engage with their community, which is mostly Croatian, but there are other African gray parrot communities in America and English-speaking world that we can work with and get this token launched. Right now we're looking very strongly at Solana, or the Dogecoin has a layer 2. Now John, he's our contact in Croatia who helped line this up, but he's just lurking in the call, but he's definitely part of our team. He lined this up, lined up this introduction. But yeah, the point is, like, we want to expand this. But he had asked me, John had said that Dogecoin might have a lot of fees, but Dogecoin actually has a layer 2 that's like Polygon based. So the layer 1 is like Bitcoin, but the layer 2 will run like Polygon or Ethereum virtual machine, which is like Binance Smart Chain. So it'll be a very low fees. So we're looking at that because imagine if we get on the Doge network, we have to get contact over there. We've just made contact with Solana. So we're still in this process of which technology do we go with and what's going to be the deciding factor, because as Tron had said, most proof of stake, almost all the proof of stake coins, they work about the same way. They once you know one, you can do them all. They all, especially if you're an experienced coder. So we're trying to see which community is going to give us the most support, because not only do we want to get the support of the Parrot community, but we need the support of a crypto community as well. Line up some grants or something that can give us a little bit extra marketing oomph, or get us some influencers in their community to give this project some oomph. And this is a project we're doing on spec, because we believe in it so much. We believe this is actually a very good use of crypto to raise funds to do something positive, instead of just raise the money and buy a Lamborghini, which
So this money goes towards preservation, and they're having a sanctuary or something.
Well, it's going to start a foundation, and the foundation will the vision of the foundation is to support all things African gray parrot, that support like preserving the species. So that would be rescue, that would be habitat. So I imagine, I don't know much about the habitat. I think they originate from Congo, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like Brazil and rainforest, so there might be opportunities like people are buying up rainforest land in Brazil to preserve habitat. Maybe there's opportunities to buy up rainforest land in the Congo. But this is like a portfolio project to showcase our capabilities as a company, that we can do it all. That this is.
Let's get to the fun part. Yeah. Because the fun part is this parrot can not only speak, but it can speak Croatian.
It only speaks Croatian. Yeah, it's not multilingual. Yeah, and it apparently in Croatia, it's a celebrity. It's a celebrity bird. I mean, it's it's like
I watched a video. I watched a video of this bird having a chat to its owner today, and it was hilarious. And I don't know Croatian, but this bird certainly does.
yeah. It's I think it's going to be a cool project. It's really exciting for us because, like I said, it can. Restack as a company, we operate, very ethically, and we really want to show what we can do, and this is great subject matter. So the website is in the process of being built. This is Easter weekend in Ukraine, so the web designer is off this weekend, but we've already started. We've already done drawings in Figma. I've written out all the copy text. So it's just a matter of getting it up. But yeah, the Hugo, the Parrot.com is already registered. I think there's a placeholder site there right now, like an under construction gig going on. And we've got the Twitter and Discord, raised up. And there'll be more about this on the website. And now we have to get those communities going. I mean, he's got he's big on the YouTube and the Facebook, but to be successful in crypto, you have to be on Twitter and Discord. So we have to raise that up and get that going. So we'll be working a lot with Hugo's family to grow the other social medias to get a successful token launch.
Yeah, so that's quite exciting, really. Having a new project to get stuck into. Yeah. It seems like it's a fun project, and it seems like it's something that's going to give you that satisfaction that you're actually doing something for the nature.
Yeah.
And these parrots. This just sounds.
I have
the whole
to say,
thing sounds
I have
great.
I have a personal liking to animals and parrots. I have a collection of elephants in my house, a collection of owls. So I'm kind of an animal person, although I don't have any pets because I'm highly allergic. Yeah.
I went to a parrot. When I was in Gran Canaria, I went to the famous parrot park, Loro Park, which is a parrot conservation, like a zoo just based around parrots. And I recommend it to anyone. They've got parrots that can cycle on miniature bikes and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but they are really fun. And great creatures, really. I love the way they can talk. It's amazing.
Well, they say birds are the descendants of dinosaurs, and now I'm wondering if there's any actually talking dinosaurs out there.
Wow, yeah, imagine that. Yeah, right, let's get to the last section because we had some questions that came into the chat, but we also had that giveaway, and there was a winner today, but it might have been a bit of a slip up because I think that you might have joined the giveaway, Alex.
Oh yeah, I was just clicking. Yeah, I was just clicking.
You won.
To see.
You won.
Okay, well then put it back out there to the next person. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to just double up, and we'll make it a really big, juicy 30 skull prize next week. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah. So no prize this week because Alex took it, but we're gonna double next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Let's have a look at what's been said. It was it was interesting. Well, how long have we been going? We've gone over. We've gone way over.
It's fine. I mean, it happens. Yeah. I know AMAs can go like this.
We've gone way over the normal 1 hour mark. We're at 1 hour 23 minutes. So if anyone, I'm going to switch the bot back on. So if anyone's in the chat, get your typing fingers out. It will come directly through, and our female chat bot will read them out. We'll give you 1 minute to start writing. But if we don't hear much, we are going to close the stream. So now's your last chance. Last chance. It's question time. Other than that, though, how do you think it's gone, Alex? Managed to get out everything?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we discussed the new project. I'm really happy Tron came and discussed the complexity of smart contracts and how we have countered the bots, because botting is like it's not just a Alien Worlds problem, it's a Web3 problem. Anywhere there's a chance people, it's not that hard. I've been watching YouTubes and even asked ChatGPT to write me a bot, and it did. You know,
Yeah.
so it's not that hard, and so it's going to be a bigger problem going forward. Now that you know, you got GPT-4. I mean, I'm taking a Python course and it's done all my homework for me thus far and explained me everything. I mean, I'm not, you know, it's
Did you have to pay for that ChatGPT-4? Because I'm
yeah,
using
20 bucks a month. It's 3.5 is free, and 4
it.
is for pay.
Maybe
But
I'm using 3.5 then, because I go to the website and it talks about 4. So I log in because it says test 4.
if you want to understand the magnitude between 3.5 and 4, it's like comparing Earth to Jupiter. That's what there was
Yeah.
a graphic about the
Wow.
capability difference.
I noticed one of
massive.
the differences was like it asks the same question to 3 and to 4, but what 4 does, instead of writing a page to try and answer something, it puts it in 2 lines. So it's very direct and to the point, which I like.
Well, you can ask it like go to 300 words. You can ask it to write like Shakespeare. You can.
But I really like the fact that the main difference was that it didn't need to blabber on at all. It got straight to the point, and it's very punchy. It will give it you in the smallest amount of time and space, which is very much what I'm into, which is a maximum efficiency. So it's very much along the lines of maximum efficiency in the fact that it will answer your question with the minimum amount of words, and it's so precise. And I was listening to a YouTube like last week, and it was the owner of ChatGPT having a chat with Lex Friedman. I don't know if you know that guy. He does the big podcast.
Yeah, I heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, and that's quite a good little podcast actually. If you're interested in anything about ChatGPT, you can just type in Lex Friedman and ChatGPT, and yeah, there's an hour long with the with the owner, the developer. But yeah, if there's no one going to join in on the conversation, I guess we're going to call it a night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next Sunday. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. UTC. If you're in the Alien Worlds community, then you do not want to miss it. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.